Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace. Monetary energy, ore of the earth, doubles every year. Listen to my words. Selling doesn't hurt. Selling is absurd. It's like cutting off your wings, but you want to be a bird.
Guys, in this very important video, I'm actually dedicating this to the electric guy who asked me a question last night. I think it was like 4 a.m. last night. So I said, look, I'm going to bed, but I'll make a video just dedicated for you and I'll send it over. Now, the video, I have already pre-recorded it while I was driving to this location. I was kind of busy and I'm going to be very busy tonight as well. So I thought, look, I'll just drop this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the recording that I made just before my phone died, sadly. So I've got it on charge now. This is why I'm recording this. So it does kind of cut off abruptly at the end, but please do forgive me. The battery died, I had no issue. So I'm hoping the information that you're going to get off this video really helps you and makes you understand. It's all about perspective. It's all about opening your mind and seeing out the box, right? That's the whole message I'm trying to convey here. There's nothing illegal, there's anything else, nobody's breaking any rules, but you got to keep it in context and you have to really understand and be logical and use reason and say, well, is this so and is this not so, right? So I hope this video kind of helps. Let's go straight into the video. Okay guys, welcome back. Sorry I'm having to do this as a drive time video. Time is at the essence because I'm actually very busy. So I'm just going to do this while I'm driving. So this video is dedicated to Electric Fella, or Electric Fellow I believe it is. He asked me a few questions yesterday regarding taxation, and I believe he's from USA from the conversation we had. So I just wanted to kind of help him out a little bit, right? And this video is going to be dedicated to him, and also it will benefit anybody who's in the crypto space, to be honest, right? Everybody benefits from it. So I mean, he's obviously found one of my videos, which is over 3 months old, where I didn't really say certain things clearly, and there's reasons. I'm being honest with you, Electric Fellow. Honestly, there are things we cannot say, and it's for the very same reasons that you've got, your question was, right? Legalization, taxation, and this and that and nonsense and all of that, right? So one of the things I've been mentioning on a few videos recently, right? And I've done many of these videos, and pretty much on all of them, I've mentioned the same thing: take your initial out, right? And what you have to understand is your biggest enemy is the state, right? But listen, we're not talking in that kind of conspiracy level, but what I'm trying to say, your biggest enemy, meaning that you got to pay tax and this and that, your financial enemy, right? Your biggest financial enemy is your state, is your government, but mostly your bank. You see, one of the funny facts that a lot of people kind of miss out, right? If you have, say for example, last year you worked and you earned like say $100,000 or whatever you earned, right? So this is for USA and even other people around the world. As I say, it applies to everybody. So you made 100K, you paid your taxes and XYZ. Do you get taxed on that again? Not entirely, right? So you don't get taxed on that, right? So you've earned that money and you're not taxed on that anymore. Now you're free to spend that money wherever you wish, right? So everyone is. Now, if you then take that money and invest it into something, right? Well, you're being programmed by your governments, right? Or your bank or whatever. And your bank does play a big part in it because they do disclose how much money you have, right? They disclose how much money you have. That's why. But what I'm trying to say is if you've already got the money, you've saved up the money, you're not taxed on that money anymore, right? So then if you reinvest that money elsewhere and you make money, you get what's called capital gains tax, right? Absolutely fine. Many countries have that, right? Again, it's another government scam trying to take your money away from you. But there's a trick, right? There's a trick. So you've saved this money, you've reinvested it into something, obviously stocks, bonds, this, that, forex, whatever. Every one of those exchanges will give you your statement and this and that, right? Which will kind of really affect you. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot by doing this because you're making money. If you haven't made XYZ, you got the fees and whatnot and this and that. And again, exchanges play a big part in this. It depends on what exchange you're on. very important. It totally depends on what exchange you're on. Now, obviously they're going to declare XYZ, whatever, and now everybody knows how much money you've made. And then when you try to exit, you have to pay taxes, and you have to pay that tax. You have to take your physical earning out. You know, so say for example, you invested 100k into crypto through a centralized exchange. Well, you take that 100k and you made it into 120k. You got to pay 40% gains tax on the 20,000 that you've made, right? That's what you pay it on, right? So that's where you're going to pay your 40% capital gains tax. But if you leave it there for a year, then you pay 20%. But then in a year, the bull cycle could be completely finished, and you could be down 20k. So are they going to pay you back? Of course not, right? So this is where a lot of people get into a bit of a limbo, where they end up losing money because of these kind of brainwashing techniques that your government and your banks and all of this corporations and whatnot have. So how do you battle that, right? Well, it actually takes you back to the white paper. Bitcoin's white paper takes you back to that, right? There's one key phrase, right? Well, actually two to be precise, right? There's two actual phrases that you need to understand. Number one is, I'm going to say the most common one, decentralized. I mean, if you take that word out of context and you allow governments and banks and everything to tax you on your decentralized currency, you're doing something wrong. So you need to figure that out, number one. Number two, Bitcoin, the white paper. Bitcoin is immutable, right? Immutable means no government has control over your Bitcoin. Nobody does. So if anyone's going to be paying taxes and this and that, whatever, I mean, you could be a law-abiding citizen, happy days all day long, right? But if you're going to do it in a particular way, you're the one to blame, nobody else. But we're not going to play the blame game here. What we want to do is talk about how to save that money, how to stay in crypto, and yet, avoid taxation, right? So this gets really interesting, right? There's a little technique, right? A lot of people don't understand. So of course, when you enter into crypto, you have no other way, because there is no other currency apart from whatever your native currency is, right? So you enter with USDT, GBP or whatever, right? Doesn't matter what your native currency is, you've entered. Now, legally, in your countries, and it doesn't matter where you are on the planet, trust me, you can't say that I'm wrong on this one, right? Legally, whatever currency you enter with is your investment, obviously, but that's your expense also. Legally, it's an expense. So if you have sent $100,000, say for example, to an exchange, well, number one, you've just expensed that from your bank, so there's no taxation on that. Only taxation you pay, say for example, you go to a shop or something like this, a store, then you pay the levy taxes, whatnot, right? Like in UK we have VAT and whatnot. That's what you pay, your 10%, 20%, whatever they charge, that you pay that on the purchase, right? But most exchanges won't. They will charge you a fee, handling fee, nothing more. But that's your money, still your money. Your money hasn't done anything, so you're legally not liable to pay any taxes, right? Now we're gonna twist it a little bit, right? So you've gone in and you've made all this money, and your initial investment, your 100k, you've made it into 200k, whatever, but your 100k is at risk, because remember what I said before, right? If you make 20% profit, of course you're going to pay capital gains tax. But if you're now 20% down, right, and that's what crypto does, the swings are high. Like we can have a 20% up and 20% down. So if you're 20% down, they're not going to reimburse you, are they? Right? They're not. So obviously they just want, from your benefit, they want it. But when you're losing, they're not going to pay you anything. You're not going to get any reimbursement back. What you do, and this is how you protect your money, you stay in crypto. And the best thing to do is you stay in your in the USDT, the tether coin, right? Whether it's USDC, USDT, BUSD, there's so many different tether coins. What I'm trying to say is it's tethered to your currency. Your crypto is tethered to a specific currency in an exchange, or even your native currency, you can leave it in the exchange. As long as that crypto, the funds have not exited the exchange, it's still an investment. So say for example, all right, you've put 100k in and now you've made 200k, and you decide to sell half your crypto and bring your initial investment back, and you left it on the exchange, you're not liable for taxes. You can leave it there for another year, and then crypto dips 20%, pick it up. Buy, sell, buy, sell. I've actually taught the same method to another brother. You may have seen him in the chat. His name is Kuram. I've taught him everything, basically how I do it, and I've given him a one-to-one lesson as well, right, how to do it, and he's benefited from it. He's realized that you can actually use fiat to do spot trading all day long. You can spot trade all day long. You know, you sell the top, you buy the bottom. You sell the top, you buy the bottom. You sell the top, and you're always going to have more. Now, if you value it in fiat, of course, you're going to have more fiat. If you value it in BTC, that's a different story. You're going to have more fiat, BTC. But the trick is, do not exit in fiat. Now, your governments, the moment you exit, so you take 100K out and you have 100K in, they're going to ask you a simple question: where did you get the money from? Proof of wealth, right? So you got to prove that. Now, if you're trading, you've got to give them your trading statements, bank statement, whatnot, and this and that. That's when you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Now, what I've learned, right, and I've learned over many years, and this is something that I don't like to say to people, but I can tell you now, I think it will help a lot of people. Right? And I don't think I'm breaking any rules or any laws, right, by telling you this, right? So I think I'm well within my rights. When I entered crypto back in like early 2016 or late 2015, right? When I entered crypto, I never exited. Right? But what I did was I did a lot of research, and I found companies out there, and I'll give you one of those companies. I don't like them, but they were also part of it as well. So there were companies out there who did crypto debit cards, right? And I said, oh, I like that, right? Means legally, I'm still in crypto, I'm still invested. Whether we go up or we go down, I'm still invested. Whether I'm making money or I'm losing money, I'm still in crypto. But I have immediate access to my cash. I have immediate access to my cash. Over time, I've accumulated so many different banks. So let me give you, not banks, like debit cards, right? Let me give you a good example of one of them, right? So the first card I actually got was actually Monaco, right? Monaco was originally crypto.com. Right, crypto.com. Everybody, not a lot of people know this. They were originally Monaco, MCO. Their coin's still there. And I only joined them because of their card functionality. So I stuck my BTC in there, and I said, you know what, that's so good. And also by that time, my first exchange I actually was on was Poloniex, right? Then from Poloniex, the second exchange I had was Coinbase, and then from Coinbase the third exchange I had was, and this is me like improving and discovering new exchanges. So my recommendation is open every single goddamn exchange there is. It doesn't cost you anything to open an account. Discover what kind of functionalities they give you and look for the protections that you have. That's what I'm going to say. So I started opening these exchanges, and I opened Monaco. It's a brand new coin back in 2017, and it had a debit card connected to it, and I said, bam, I want that. I also opened like a company called BlockFi. I opened a company called Nexo. But those guys, you know, even till today, I still haven't got my card, which is stupid, right? Nexo, I did get my card, which is a different story. But again, I wasn't happy with how they deal with stuff. Anyway, I'm not, you know, but what I'm trying to say here, so I opened up exchanges, got myself some debit cards that I can spend my crypto. But I'm not planning to spend any of my Bitcoin or any of my Ethereum, right? At that time, right? This is back in 2016, 2017, right? I don't plan to do any of that. I just want access to my funds without ever exiting. So then Coinbase list says we're going to do a card ourselves. I said, all right, great. So I ordered the Coinbase card, right? And trust me, I've spent a lot of money, and you know, not a lot of money, but it's like $10, $15, $20, whatever they charge you, right? I've spent that. I said, well, I want the card, and I started getting the cards. Now, some of them have some fees and whatnot. It doesn't matter. I don't really care, right? I just want access to my funds whenever, you know, and I want to be able to come back to fiat if I need to, or just go and spend directly with my debit card. And I'm mostly a debit card guy, so I can go and spend it all day long. So I said to myself, I said, you know, I need to do this, right? I did that. Now Binance, for example, they're launching their own card. You can also order that as well. So anyway, let's go to the card, right? So what's the trick? The trick is, right, now USDC was available on Coinbase. What you need to do is find a tether coin, right? And when you say, for example, you've got you bought some Bitcoin, you made some profits during the bull market, you 10x your money, happy days to you, but you want to take out your initial investment in fiat, well, put it in the fiat dollar, right? The dollar coin, right? The USDC or the USDT, right? put it in one of those. In fact, now USDT has just been activated in Coinbase as well. So do you know what? They're just making our lives more easier. So you put it there. So your Bitcoin is still in Bitcoin. You're not spending that. That's there for HODL or whatever you want to do. But your fiat, it's that 1-to-1 ratio, right? $1 equals 1 tether. Boom, you've just unlocked your mind. Now you can go and spend on your debit card, do all of that. Now I'll tell you what I did, right? So for me, my spending coin wasn't Tether at the time, and I'm being honest with you, this is a complete disclosure. Tether wasn't available in most of the exchanges to be spent on a debit card. So I had to look for the next best thing, right? What can I find that is going to be stable enough for me, but I can also spend as much as I want. And what I did was I went and bought a whole bunch of Ethereum, because I found Ethereum was right at the bottom at that time. This is back in 2019. We had a kind of a bottom on Ethereum, and I was like, okay, Ethereum seems to be rebounding. Well, let me put my money in there. So I put whatever fiat I had, I put it into Ethereum, and I said that's going to be my spending money over the next year. And I think that was the best call I ever made. Look at Ethereum's price today, and I bought them at like 90 pounds a coin, right? Which was at that time, I believe it was like $120 or $130, something like that in US, right? And I put all my money, all my savings, whatever I had fiat, into Ethereum. And I left it there, and I found a card specifically dedicated to Ethereum very recently, actually. It's called Monolith, right? So I put it into there. It's just an Ethereum card, and I'm spending my Ethereum. That's all I do. So I need fiat, I spend my Ethereum. I need to go to the cash machine, take some cash out, which nobody does anyway. But even if I do, I go and spend my Ethereum. But legally, I'm still in crypto, and legally, anything I'm spending is an expense, right? Legally, so what I've invested was my investment. I'm going to be taxed on, if I am going to be taxed. In UK, it's a different story. We don't have capital gains tax yet. We might have it in the future, but only for businesses and institutions, they have to pay capital gains tax. I think depends on how big you are, it's 40%. If not, then it's 20% capital gains tax. But for an individual, it's nothing. So if you're, they don't count you as to be that big unless you're like a billionaire associated with $1 billion company or $1 million company. So like even you as an individual, if you're associated with multiple companies, so you are still considered as an institution, right? This is how they connect it. But if you're a complete independent person who has a job, who pays taxes via a job, so whatever money you invest in crypto is not taxable, right? If that makes any sense to you. Right? But what I'm saying is, so me, I will be taxed, right? But so far, I haven't been taxed. Sole reason is that I've never exited, and I never will, right? I understood that I don't have to exit. I can stay in crypto forever. So this rule that you said, if you stay in crypto less than a year, you got to pay 40%. If you stay in crypto for more than a year, you pay 20%. Well, what do you pay if you stay in crypto for infinite? Nothing, right? That's what I figured out, right? I said, okay, hold on. I don't have to pay anything provided I'm in crypto, provided I stay there forever. But how do I save my money and also grow my fund while I'm there? So I'm making money, I'm investing, my money's growing, I'm reinvesting it in another coin, which I feel is stable enough. I'm putting it in there. Now, obviously, I'm going to play the US dollar, USD tether trick, right? Because that's available now. So whatever's available to me, that's what I'm using. There was a time when even on Coinbase, I used DAI, the stable coin DAI, Ethereum coin DAI, DAI. I use that, right? So for me, I'm looking for a stable coins for me to play around with, right? Where I can lock my fiat funds without ever coming back to the bank, but also having access, and I'll show you, hold on, I've got it with me, I'll show you. And also having access to my crypto. So I'm just going to cover my name. This is my, so hold on, let me cover this. This is my Coinbase card, right? This is my, let me see if I can show it to you. Sorry, my camera might not pick it up. It might blur it because of certain things. Let me see if I can show it. Yeah, look, Coinbase card. This is my Coinbase Visa card, right? So what I can do is literally, I always have it. I always use it, whatever. I mean, for me, it's so stupid. I'll tell you this, right? I'm a massive Bitcoin maximalist, right? So everything for me is valued in Bitcoin. I want more Bitcoin. That's all I want. But when it came to Ethereum, I actually genuinely spend Ethereum. I spend Ethereum since 2019. I've been spending Ethereum only, nothing else. I don't have any cash. I don't have any fiat. Every fiat I get, I just plug it back into the system, right? It comes in and it goes one direction. For me, money just moves one direction. All my assets, every single dime, every single penny, right, every single cent, right, I own is in BTC. I'm 99.999% in BTC, right? Well, not BTC, crypto, to be honest, right? That's what I am. I'm pure crypto. So during this bull run, all these pumps and everything, I've benefited significantly, but nobody knows how much. Why? Because I'm still in crypto. Now, another thing to protect myself, what I did, right? So obviously I've talked about how I've bought and how I've got money to spend. Now, this is another way to protect yourself. And Michael Saylor, he put it on a video, very, very simple the other day, right? It was something to do with the California tax rule regarding crypto. And he said, you know, if you really push me too hard regarding tax and this and that and nonsense, right? Which is pure nonsense, by the way. You're going to try and push me and force me and brainwash me into doing it, program me to pay you when I don't really have to. Well, guess what? I'm just going to say I lost all my crypto, so tax that, right? Because that's the fact. If you haven't got the crypto, how do you tax that? Well, guess what? This is how a lot of people beat the system, right? Number one, you buy yourself a cold wallet, a cold storage wallet, something offline, right? Off the chain, right? You buy it off the exchanges, sorry. You buy a crypto wallet. And I've got links below as well. You can use those. That's the direct link for the ledger. There's an Amazon link or whatever there as well. Or go and search it for yourself. But remember one thing, whenever you buy a hardware wallet, please guys, and I'll tell you, some people have actually suffered from this, only buy directly from the manufacturer. Do not buy from a third party, please. Trust me, some of these wallets could be already pre-hacked, repackaged. They can repackage them very nicely. You think it's a brand new wallet, it's not. Someone's already copied the codes or done whatnot, manipulated their thing, and they can steal your crypto. So always buy directly from the manufacturer. Doesn't matter, it might cost you a little bit more. Avoid the discounts and this and that. Buy it for a little bit more. Your money's going to be safe. I mean, you know, depends how much money you're putting in there, right? Anyway, so you offload anything you're going to hodl. You're not going to spend that on anything. It shouldn't be on an exchange anyway. You put it on a cold storage and just put it away. Remember your seeds, memorize your seeds, or save it somewhere, do whatever. Like, I've made a video regarding that as well, how I protect my seeds. I can't remember all of them, so I just split my seeds and I just gave it to a few people. I said, hold that. So nobody knows, like, you know, multiple people have my seed phrases, but they don't know they're holding my seed phrases, number one. Number two, they don't know each other, right? And that's how I've kept myself protected, right? Because I don't want to know my seed phrase, because if I do, then I might spend it or I might sell it. I'm a hodler. I'm going to hodl for a very long time. But when it comes to spending, I keep a spending amount. So it's different. Like I physically keep a spending amount. So I've invested all my money, you know, donkeys years ago. I invested all my money. My money is now worth God knows what, right? I'm not going to give you a number. God knows what. And I kept a small portion to spend as I wish, because everyone needs to spend, right? You need living expenses, right? So that's what I did. I just kept a very small amount for spending, and I try my best not to even spend that. So sometimes, you know, if I could get hold of some fiat from someone, I don't have any fiat. Trust me, I don't have any fiat. I'm not joking when I say I don't have any fiat. But if I need fiat, then I'll get fiat from somewhere. I've got like multiple associations, multiple businesses that I'm involved with, and if I really need a fiat injection, then I can just go up there and say, right, give me a fiat. But normally I say, don't even give me fiat, I want it in crypto, right? You know, pay me in Bitcoin, pay me in Ethereum. And you think you're hearing this in the news right now. This is no joke. You guys are hearing in the news how this player's doing it, that player's doing it, you know, how this famous person is doing it, how that famous person is doing it. But guess what? I've been doing it for donkey's years. I've been doing it since 2017. I've been getting paid in crypto since 2017. Right? You know, so I just disclosed something that I shouldn't have, but look, that's what it is. Now, I'm not famous enough to come on the news and say, oh, this guy's been doing it since 2017, but I am. I've been getting paid from investments in actual physical world businesses that I've had. I said crypto. I said, whatever money you're going to pay me, right? There's two options. You either transfer it to my bank, which is going to go straight to crypto, or you can buy the crypto and send the crypto to me. And that's what a lot of my associates do. Send me the crypto. Why? Because it's immutable. It's not anonymous. It's immutable. But my wallet is anonymous because nobody knows who that wallet belongs to. That's what I'm trying to say. Nobody knows who that wallet belongs to. So I can do what I want, when I want, how I want, right? without any issues whatsoever. And that's how I protect my assets. That's how I protect my money. That's how I don't give up everything, all my hard work, my patience, my belief, my trust, my faith. I don't give up any of that, right? It's mine. It's not there to give to anybody, you know? I mean, there's even been an occasion where, I'll give you a good example, right? I know this one fella, this one guy actually, he's done really well actually. He bought Bitcoin very cheap, and Ethereum. Actually, I remember the day he bought Ethereum, I think he bought it for like $10 a coin, and he put a lot of money. I mean, I'm not going to say who he is, but I can tell you how much money he put in. He bought $2,000 worth, so £2,000 worth, sorry, £2,000 worth, and the Ethereum was $8. So I think around that time it was about, sorry, $10. I think it was about £7 or £8 a coin, and he put £2,000 in as an investment. So not too much, but he put that there, and he locked it up. He's got a good mindset. He locked it up, and he was already in Bitcoin already, so he gave Ethereum a chance, and that's the only 2 coins he owns. Obviously, he made a ton of money, and he's got a lovely company in UK and this and that, and you know, he realized that he will be taxed at some point, right? I'll tell you what he did. He said, look, I've made so much money in, you know, that I couldn't make in the next 20 years. So that's what he's done recently. He's done, well, last year he did it actually. So he's made so much money that through crypto that he would have to give half of it away, and he's like, for what? If I lost that 2K, no one would have given me a penny. So why would I give it to them? So guess what he done? He moved his business. He actually took his business abroad to a tax-free country. So he moved this, because it's just an office. So he just moved his office over to a tax-free country, register it over there. It's a multi-million-dollar business. So the other country, they said, okay, that's great, you're coming in. So he took his business over there. He invested in some other bits and bobs over there. He got himself a passport, whatnot, and he's migrated out of the country. He said, screw you. He showed them a middle finger. He said, screw you, I'm paying tax. So he's gone to a tax-free country, right? And he went there, and his crypto's obviously online. He can go and access it wherever he wants. No one knows. So did they tax him before he left the country? No. Did he even have to leave the country? Actually, no. The only time he was actually affected and he was liable for tax was when he cashed out. Until then, no. It's like when you buy a house. When you buy a house, right, whatever fees and this and that is involved, right, you pay that and you buy a house. Are you tax capital gains on the house every year because your house goes up 10%, 20%, 30%? Do you pay capital gains on that? No. So why do people have this misconception that they also have to pay capital gains tax on crypto, right? You only pay capital gains tax when you've sold the house and the money's arrived to your bank, and they see how much profit you made, and they charge you 20, 40, 50, whatever percentage they charge you. They charge you that only when you exit, right? That's the tax rules. It's pretty much equal everywhere. That's when you pay tax, right? So if you've never left it, so if you bought a house and you've never sold it, what capital gains? Capital gains tax. You bought some land, you never sold it, what capital gains? You know, whatever you buy, if you've never left it, what capital gains? All right? As Michael Saylor said, and as I'm saying it, what capital gains? Right? So I think a lot of people really, it's hard. I understand it's hard, right? Because you come from a normal fiat thing. We've been, from childhood, we've been brainwashed, right? You know, how to be educated, how to be obedient, how to be law-abiding, and this and that. There's law, and then there's law, right? There's law of the land, and there's the law of the legal system. The legal system's there just to keep you, you know, quiet, you know, keep you down, make sure you follow the rules, right? You follow them, basically, right? This is what it is. You follow them. If they say get up, you get up. If they say sit down, you sit down. You're a puppet. That's what they want to make you. The system is designed to, from a childhood, to program you, me, everybody to be a puppet, right? Now, like fortunately, most of us, you know, in the population of the world, very few, but like cryptosphere, a lot of the guys, they broke out of that chain. They don't live in that bubble anymore. They don't live in that whole puppet bubble anymore. It's like, you're not my master. What the hell are you doing? Right. We broke out of that. We opened our mind. We unlocked our mind. We said, no. Logic and reason dictates everything. Everything else goes in the bin. Anything you feed me doesn't work. right? All the info you fed me since I was in school, when you taught me or mathematics, this, that, whatever, you taught me basics. You gave me all the tools, right, to do my own logic and reasoning. And logic and reason says to me that basically you can't tax me, even with your own legal paper system. You can't tax me as long as I've never left. And there are many systems out there where you can actually sit and where you can, take your debit card, like I just showed you. You can take your debit card and you can go and spend that. You can go and spend that. Right? There are other technologies coming who are working on anonymity. For example, I talked about Bitcoin Taproot, and I said have a look at that. Now, what I didn't mention is what Taproot is trying to do. Taproot is trying to make it a little bit more private. Isn't that what we all want? Right? So there's privacy and then there's privacy, right? Privacy Bitcoin gives us is that nobody knows who owns the wallet, but the exchange does. That's a problem. Because that's how you get taxed and this and that. You lose half the money. So imagine everybody made money and everyone got taxed 40%. Well, they're taking your crypto away from you. It doesn't help the market, right? So we need to basically make sure that we preserve crypto and we move ahead with that. This is why I'm a hodler. I'm never going to sell. And even if I need to, if I buy anything, then I never exit. I just stay in my USDT or whatever Tether coin I can find. Anything stable I can find. I just stay in that and then use that again later on to buy the dips. It's actually a very good mindset to get into, and you realize that your spending problem is solved, your money problem is solved, your bank issue is solved, your taxation issue is solved, and the best of all, if they really push you, show them a middle finger and say tax them. All right? I'm sure you get the message. So I hope this video kind of helps you and you understand what's going on. I know it's been a very long video. Sadly, I don't have much time, but I had, while I'm driving, I just thought, okay, I'm going to quickly make this video. And hopefully this helps so you understand a lot more. And it applies to anybody. It's not just the US. It's just not the UK. Globally, right? This whole idea like, governments can block you, ban you, this, that. Sod it. They can't do anything. They can't do anything to your crypto. Right? As long as you're in crypto, they can't do anything. They can make all sorts of rules and laws and this and that, sit down in an office, 10 people sitting in an office and making a rule to run the whole world. Do you accept that? Because I don't. I wasn't there. Did you make the rule while I was sitting there? Did you ask me for my permission? No, you didn't. Did you ask for a voting system for the whole globe to actually vote that? You didn't. Anyway, my camera's running out, so I'm going to...